Once upon a time in a land far, far away, there lived a hyena who loved to laugh. He would laugh at everyone and everything. If he saw a zebra struggling to free itself from the mud, he'd laugh. If he saw a giraffe with its neck stuck between two trees, he'd laugh. If he heard a bird squawk as it flew past, he'd laugh. You could say that this hyena laughed all day long. One day, the hyena was strolling through the savannah when he came across a group of zebras who were getting ready for their annual migration. "Look at those zebras," he said to himself. "They think they're so smart, migrating to greener pastures, but they're just running away from the drought." "Ha, ha!" The hyena burst into laughter. The zebras turned around and asked him, "What's so funny?" "You are," the hyena replied. "You silly zebras, why do you bother migrating? Don't you know that the grass is always greener on the other side of the river?" "Ha, ha!" And with that, the hyena went on his way, shaking with laughter. The zebras looked at each other in confusion. They had never heard a hyena speak before, let alone one that was as rude as this. But they knew better than to stick around and find out. With a snort, they continued on their way. As the days passed, the hyena's laughter echoed across the savannah, mocking the struggles of every animal he came across. He taunted the baboons for hoarding food, the giraffes for being too slow, and the elephants for forgetting where they were going. He even made fun of the birds for trying to find water, saying that they should have brought an umbrella instead of flapping their wings. "Ha, ha, ha!" he'd cry. "You poor little bird, you can't even get a drop of water. What are you gonna do now? Ha, ha!" But the birds weren't bothered by his mockery. They simply flew away, leaving the hyena to his cruel jokes. One day, the hyena was walking near the river when he heard some commotion. Looking over, he saw a group of birds surrounding a small pool of water, each trying to get as much as they could. "Hey, you birds," the hyena called out. "Why are you fighting over such a small puddle? Don't you know it's better to fly farther to get more water? Or better yet, bring an umbrella next time, so you don't have to deal with this." The birds stopped their commotion and stared at the hyena. "Why do you come to us with such negativity?" asked a wise old bird. "You don't need to be mean to us to be funny. We're not afraid of you." With that, the birds took off and flew away, leaving the puzzled hyena behind. He watched them go, confused as to why they weren't upset by his jokes. Maybe they were just pretending, he thought, but then he noticed something strange. All the birds flying around were carrying little pebbles in their beaks. Curious, the hyena followed them to a nearby hill and saw what they were doing. Each bird was dropping its pebble into a small hole, making a tiny tinkling sound. As he watched, the hyena saw the last bird fly away and finish her turn. Then, with a huff, she flew back down to the hyena. "Can't you see we're busy here?" she snapped. "We're bringing the rain to this dry land so that animals like you won't have to suffer from the drought." The hyena froze. He hadn't realized that the birds were trying to bring rain to this dry land. "I'm sorry," he stammered. "I didn't know. I thought you were just playing." "Oh, we could have fooled you," the bird said with a smirk. "We pretend to be quarreling over a small puddle so that your kind stay away. You see, hyenas and lions are the only animals who don't help each other or anyone else during the drought. So we trick you." The hyena felt ashamed. He had made fun of these birds for trying to bring rain when all along they were trying to save his life. He wanted to apologize, but the birds were already gone. With heavy steps, the hyena walked toward the river. He could hear the birds chattering in the distance. They were laughing now, but he couldn't tell if it was at him. He dipped his head and drank deeply from the river, grateful for the water and ashamed of his behavior. From that day on, the hyena didn't laugh as much. He had learned that mockery wasn't funny when it wasn't done with kindness. Whenever he saw a zebra struggling in the mud, he'd offer to help. When he saw a giraffe stuck between two trees, he'd lend a hand. And if he heard a bird squawk as it flew past, he simply smiled. And so the animals of the savannah slowly forgave him. They knew that deep down, he was a good hyena who simply made bad choices. Now, whenever the hyena heard another animal laughing, he'd ask, "Are you laughing with kindness or without it?" Because he knew that mockery without kindness only brought emptiness. The end.